helping people every day. And like all good organizations, we don't do it alone. If we can help you, please call us or learn more about Cannon and Dunphy on our social channels.
Want your brand to turn heads and win hearts?
Captivate Exhibits can bring your brand to life by transforming lobbies, creating history walls, and beautifying facilities.
For over 32 years, Captivate has been the MVP of trade show exhibits and workplace design and fabrication. Let Captivate craft immersive branded environments that tell your story boldly, beautifully, and with purpose at events and around the office.
Score big by making your next event or your own space unforgettable. Create something legendary by getting started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Get away with huge savings at Hyundai West Dallas during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, where you can make your best deal and save an additional $500 on a new Hyundai. Or get 0% for 60 months and make no payments for 90 days on a new Palisade or Santa Fe. Get Hyundai Assurance and America's Best Warranty. 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. From Hyundai West Dallas, a member of the International Autos Group. Visit HyundaiWestDallas.com today. Financing with approved credit. $1,667 for every $1,000 financed with $0 down. Offers cannot be combined. Ends 9/2/2025.
Who handles the service and maintenance for your facility? Is it a Steamfitters Local 601 HVAC professional? If not, you might not be getting the best service. Our HVAC professionals undergo 10,000 hours of rigorous training, 1,200 hours in the classroom, and 9,300 hours of hands-on experience. That's the kind of expertise you can count on. For superior service and cost-effective solutions, partner with the best. Visit steam601.org to view our list of signatory contractors. Steamfitters Local 601, keepers of the craft, powering Wisconsin.
Get up! Get out of here and go!
Covering the Crew all season long on WTMJ, it's Brewers Extra Innings. Now live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee at the Avenue. Here is your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
Another epic, a franchise record. From the last guy on the bench, you'd expect one of the biggest swings in franchise history for the Milwaukee Brewers. They have won 14 games in a row, thanks in large part to the guy wearing number 14, Andrew Monasterio. 3-run shot in the top of the 11th inning put the Brewers up for good. And quite frankly, a game they probably didn't deserve to win, because for 26 outs of this game, they were getting outplayed by the Reds, but you got to get all 27 of them, and the Brewers made them sweat, made them make absolutely perfect plays, and yet, the moment the Reds made a mistake, the Brewers were ready to pounce. What a night, what a record. We hope you join us throughout the program, 855-616-1620. Again, 855-616-1620, the Sounding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. Craig Kashan will join us. I'm Dom Cotroneo. If you missed any of it, if you want to just relive it, pull up a chair. Let's go ahead and relive it with the highlights.
Ready for this?
Out of here!
This?
Brought it back! Ho, ho, ho!
And this?
It is gone!
Time for tonight's highlights.
Quinn Priester taking the mound for the Brewers, trying to rebound after a tough one against the Mets last Sunday. Against trade acquisition for the Reds, Zach Littell, and he pitched pretty well, but the Brewers, they were quiet in the first 5 batters of this game. Then a 2-strike, 2-out single by Caleb Durbin kept the second inning going. Bryce Terang would come to the plate, and we're talking about mistakes. The Brewers are always taking advantage.
As this is lined to right, but right in the tracks of Marte, and he misplayed it. It sails over his head, it rolls to the wall. Durbin's around third, he will score, and the Brewers on the board here in the second on a misplay by Marte and right.
It can't be an error because he didn't technically touch the ball, but baseball people know that's an error in your own personal scorebook. So the Brewers take a 1-0 lead. And meanwhile, Quinn Priester picking up exactly where the Brewers bullpen left last night. Remember, the final 23 batters of that game were retired by the Brewers pen. Well, he retired the first 9 batters of this
2-2
one.
pitch, swing and a miss. Curveball fooled Hayes, and he struck him right on out of there. Couple of ortho ASAP punch-outs for Priester. In a perfect third inning, the Reds, they've now been retired 32 batters in a row.
Josh Mauer giving you the numbers there. In the fourth, they would get a little traffic against him, but ultimately a key double play and a comebacker would end the fourth. So it's still 1-0 Brewers. The defense now on display in the fifth inning from Joey Ortiz.
2-2 pitch. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Diving stop by Ortiz to his feet. Spins and throws to first in time. The highlight reel continues to grow for Joey Ortiz. Do not take him for granted, Brewers fans. Nobody's playing that position like Joey is right now.
He's on fire with the glove. Then in the sixth, though, finally some adversity for Priester. He allowed a 2-strike home run by Ke'Bryan Hayes to lead off the frame. That made it a 1-1 game. Then with an 0-2 count on Steer, he hits a solo homer in the very front row at Great American Ballpark in left center. And now the Reds have the lead. After a walk to De La Cruz and a single by Andujar, he would have to be lifted from the contest after he was rolling. But Ashby would clean things up in the sixth with back-to-back strikeouts. The Brewers would have opportunities down the stretch here. In the seventh, the leadoff double was left stranded after the Brewers couldn't get Durbin home. In the eighth, back-to-back walks to lead off the frame didn't move. Then in the ninth, another pair of leadoff walks against the closer Emilio Pagan set the stage. With one out, Sal Frelick up with 2 men aboard.
Here's the 1-1 and a ground ball to second base. To McClain, flips to De La Cruz for one, and De La Cruz's throw to first is under the glove of Steer and into foul territory, and down the line to score is Terang. The Brewers have tied it at 2. Wow!
It probably wouldn't have been a double play. It was just a little slow enough to stay a chance for Frelick, but De La Cruz should not have thrown the ball, and Steer probably should have blocked it. So it extends the game. The Brewers could not take the lead in the ninth. In the bottom half of the ninth, Abner Uribe kept this game scoreless with a big strikeout against Matt McClain. So we go to the 10th, and we go to the place runner, and the Brewers didn't waste any time.
First pitch. Line drive in a left field for a base hit. On it quickly is Fraley. Bowdy bobbles the ball. He falls down. Scoring is the automatic runner, Siegler, on that error. And taking second base is Contreras. Another Reds error.
The Brewers, though, would not be able to add any more in the 10th, and we know what that means. When you don't get more than one in extras, the other team's going to get one in extras. Trevor McGill allowed a double to Ke'Bryan Hayes, but that was it. He left 2 stranded there in the 10th inning, so we go to an 11th. Terang bunting as the first man there in the 11th inning against the lefty La Sorsa, and it was misplayed at third by Hayes. Him and La Sorsa collided, so now there are 2 men aboard, nobody out. And with left on left due with Tyler Black, instead Pat Murphy pulls the lever, calls on number 14, Andrew Monasterio.
From the stretch, first pitch, drill deep, left field, back goes Espinal, track, wall, see you later! Andrew Monasterio comes in cold off the bench and hits a 3-run home run into the seats in left on the first pitch. The Brewers have a 6-3 lead in the 11th inning thanks to Mona in Cincinnati. This is madness.
Of course he did. Why wouldn't he?
He was 2 for 21 in his career as a pinch hitter with no extra base hits. He sees one pitch tonight. He sends it to the stands. All that's left is for Nick Mears to collect his first big league save. A sac fly scored the place runner. Then a homer by Marte suddenly made this a 1-run game, but with nobody on, you can exhale.
The 1-1 pitch. Popped into center field and playable. Moving back into his left on the track is Lockridge. He's there. He makes the catch. Can you count to 14? It's a franchise record for the Milwaukee Brewers. The longest winning streak in the history of the ball club. In 11 thrilling innings tonight, they get it done 6-5.
That's amazing. It's just simply amazing. It really is something new every single night. The Brewers on a 14-game winning streak, on the heels of an 11-game winning streak. They have the best record in baseball. They're 9 games up on the Cubs. Oh, by the way, they won another series against the Reds. My goodness. Craig Kashan and I are going to break it all down next here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
At Tony Wendorf and Associates First Weber Group, we believe in the human side of real estate. For us, it's faith, family, and friends in that order. We live that every single day. I'm Tony Wendorf. We move fast, negotiate with confidence, and communicate clearly so our clients win. We operate from a place of gratitude, having donated nearly $200,000 back to our community since 2020. You deserve a team that delivers a luxury experience no matter the price point. Contact us today to get started. Tony Wendorf and Associates, trusted knowledge, superior service. Contact us at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
Cotroneo with a 2-run blast.
That's the sound of August Brewers baseball in Milwaukee. Make the most of every remaining summer game day and get your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
Back to school means back to savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. Right now, get $3,000 off your roofing, your siding, your windows, or your bath project during the fall savings event. Don't wait. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com to claim your $3,000 savings and book your free estimate. Exterior Pros and Baths, Wisconsin's trusted home improvement experts. Trust the pros.
Why settle for just a job when you can have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee new car dealer members have service technicians, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam member new car dealer.
For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.com/jobs. That's ADAMM.com/jobs.
From family barbecue to quiet mornings, a new deck from Outdoor Living Unlimited is built to last. We are Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team. For amazing ideas, go to our Outdoor Living Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate, go to OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Welcome back. We're playing a lot of glory days, 14 in a row as a matter of fact. Brewers Extra Innings rolls on here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Craig joining us in just a moment. Hey, Milwaukee, if you're looking for a banking partner that truly understands your business needs, look no further than Fifth Third Bank. With a local team right here in Milwaukee, they know how to hit it out of the park every time. For 15 years, they've been serving our community with industry-specific expertise and local decision-making that helps your business thrive. Experience the unique commercial banking value that only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC. Let's get to a bunch of these texts. And, a couple of folks are agreeing with what I said in last night's program after the great comeback down 8-1. Like, I can't call all of these games of the year, but yet we keep finding ourselves in it because just a reminder on, the grand scheme, not only are they on a 14-game winning streak right now, which is obviously incredible, but when you go back to the date that Brandon Woodruff returned to this team on July 6th, and this is just one of the many, lines of demarcation I can choose for the Brewers, but let's just go there. Let's go July 6th, Sunday against the Marlins. The Brewers are now 28-4 over their last 32 games. And quite frankly, that's just as impressive as winning 14 in a row. That is nuts. Absolutely nuts. 28-4 for more than a month with an all-star break in the middle of it. Euchre magic is real. The Brew Crew have it just right this year. And a franchise record, 14 wins in a row. And, I was doing a little exercise here. I wanted to save this for Craig, but I can start kind of talking about it, too, where, we say it's somebody new every night. And we say it's something that, maybe this guy wasn't expected, like Monasterio tonight, or what Isaac Collins was doing against the Braves, or Blake Perkins against the Nationals, or Jose Quintana, Andrew Vaughn. The list goes on of so many different contributors that you just don't expect. And the way that the Brewers have played over this stretch is quality baseball. They take care of things, and I joked about it earlier. If the Brewers lost this game, it's an easy diagnosis. They didn't get the big hit. Well, they got the big hit from the 11th inning finally. The Brewers didn't have a hit with a runner in scoring position until William Contreras' go-ahead single in the 10th. Right? Think about that. 3 for 16 on the night with runners in scoring position. One of them was Contreras' RBI single in the 10th. One of them was the bunt hit by Terang in the top of the 11th right before Monasterio, the third hit with a runner in scoring position, the 3-run homer. They did not deserve to win this game, but the Woodpecker just kept showing up. It was incredible to watch, incredible to see this team do it yet again. Let's get to the phone lines, 855-616-1620. Again, 855-616-1620. Ron from Iola. Ron, you're live here on Brewers Extra Innings.
Yeah, this is me again. You guys are going to have to hire me. Oh, my God. You cannot tell me that our beloved Bob Uecker and our Irish Don, Pat Murphy, don't have their own phone line. I mean, Bob called Pat and said, get Monasterio up there, he'll do it. And by golly, he did. I mean, that's our manager is just, well, the whole team is just the darling of the majors. And our infield is just the plays they make. They save so many runs from getting on base, and it's just wonderful. It's marvelous. So that's all I have to contribute tonight. Thank you very much, Don, and God bless our boys. Okay, take care.
It's been really fun, Ron. Appreciate the call, and Pat Murphy certainly has been pushing all the right buttons right now for the crew. And when you look at it for the Reds tonight, right, they hit 2 solo homers in the 6th inning. They get the placed runner to score in the 10th, and then they hit another solo homer in the 11th, and they get another placed runner. So, I mean, you can argue, again, they hit 3 solo homers. They out-homered the Brewers, kind of like what the Mets were doing. Homers aren't everything in this game, and it's not the only way to win a contest. A few texts that roll in here as well. Don't say it. Don't say it. Game of the year? Huge shout-out to Mona. It really is somebody different every game. This one from Nick. Magic, miracles, and true believers never gave in at all, and this team are real record breakers. And I really love this one from the 510 all the way across the pond. Watching this game from London, 3 a.m. So glad I was able to stay awake. Monasterio had been flirting with a homer for the past few games, and now he finally got a hold of one, 14 straight, to bookmark another incredible chapter for this magical season. And we talked about it too. You know, you heard Jeff Levering say it on television. I'm pretty sure the guy said it on the radio too. Mona stayed ready. You know, another play that comes to mind for me about Andrew Monasterio, right at the All-Star break. Remember against the Nationals, he comes in on the Saturday game while they're on that 11-game winning streak, that he comes in on Saturday and pinch runs for Andrew Vaughn after he hit the game-tying double, remember? So he's on second base with 1 out, and there's the chopper to the left side, and nobody's covering third, and Mona takes a mad dash to third. That's massive because it forces them to intentionally walk. I believe it was Churio at the time, and then ultimately it was Caleb Durbin getting the RBI single to drive in Monasterio. Like, straight off the bench, making a heads-up base running play, getting to third, getting a free 90, and then winning run. And then today, the 3-run homer, too. And I tweeted this, and I'll repeat it here for the folks who don't follow on social. Andrew Monasterio is the epitome of a glue guy. And maybe, yeah, he doesn't play every day. And, yeah, he doesn't have the loudest tools on the planet to stay in the big leagues of, like, yeah, that's his calling card. That's what he's known for. But he's a pesky hitter. He knows the strike zone. He plays quality defense at a multitude of positions. And a quick aside, a quick story, my minor league path on my way up as a broadcaster, I saw Mona in high A. We were in the Carolina League. I was with the Rangers at the time, the Down East Wood Ducks. He was in the Cubs organization on the Myrtle Beach Pelicans. And that was the team, mind you, that when that groundbreaking trade happened for Jose Quintana from switching to the White Sox to the Cubs, that included Eloy Jimenez going over to the White Sox and included, all the studs that they had, Dylan Cease going over to the White Sox, that sort of thing. Like, Mona was on that Cubs team with those guys, so he got to see high-quality teams. And I remember watching Mona, and this isn't like me putting a scout feather in my hat, but I'm saying, like, this guy's a grinder. You know, I hope it goes well for him, but it's high A. Nobody knows for sure who's going to be a big leaguer. And quite frankly, of the 20 or so guys that get into a game in high A, 3 or 4 of them are going to go to the show. That's just the nature of the beast. And Pat Murphy's talked about this before about Andrew Monasterio. Mona will do anything in his power to stay in the big leagues. And he's got a positive attitude. He's taking grounders every day. He's taking swings every day. He's getting stronger. He connects with his teammates. He connects with his coaching staff. And again, there's not going to be many Andrew Monasterio jerseys in the ballpark. We know that. Maybe now there'll be more, since you can easily register number 14 and 14-game winning streak. But, man, chalk one up for the guys that don't give up. Chalk one up for the guys that have been told their whole life, yeah, you're a little small, oh, you're not quite for us, or work on this and get back to us, that sort of thing. Baseball is full of guys like that, and the Brewers are full of guys like that. Monasterio's bounced around organizations. He's bounced up and down from the big leagues the last 3 years. Remember when Willie Adames got his concussion a couple of seasons ago on that foul ball, and they called up Andrew Monasterio for his big league debut? Everybody just assumed it was going to be Mona for the 10 days, and he goes back down. Well, he played so well in those 10 days that they kept him around, and they saw, hey, this guy's valuable as a utility player. He's gone up and down multiple times, and Andrew Monasterio is somebody that deserves to have this moment in the sun. Because Craig Kashan, as you join us here, I'm waxing poetic about Mona, and you've seen him in the clubhouse, you've seen him in the dugout, of just the energy he brings, the smile on his face. It is so easy to smile when you see something like this happen for a guy that simply deserves it.
He really does deserve it. He is clearly not only one of the nicest guys on this team, but if you're a nice guy on this team, Dom, you're one of the nicest guys in all of baseball. Let's just say that. That's just kind of how this team is made up right now. And one of the things I appreciate about him, he knows he's under the spotlight tonight for that one swing, that one pitch that he saw, and that one big home run that he hit. But the very first thing he says is, we got a bunch of guys in here who are very humble. He didn't even know how long the winning streak was. When it was pointed out it was a franchise record, he thought that was pretty cool. But right away he said, all right, well, we're going back to the hotel tonight, and we're just coming back tomorrow, and we've got work to do. We can't think about streaks right now. So bottom line, though, Dom, I know you've talked about it. For a guy that's kind of the designated guy on the Major League roster that's just simply not going to play a lot, he is always ready. And the fact that the numbers that you came up with for our broadcast tonight, that the fact that he's 7 out of 14 during this 14-game hitting streak, winning streak, just shows that he's not called upon much, but, man, is he ready to go. 500 hitter and very productive. Holy cats. It's just a great moment for him. I think a lot of people are very, very happy for him.
I think when you look at Andrew Monasterio and the other little side story here before we take a break, we're up against one here. The other little side story here is you may notice the bright batting gloves he's wearing and the bright Franklins that he's got going on, part of the summer pack that Franklin's doing. Shout out to it, free ad there for Franklin batting gloves. The story of how he got those, he's not signed to a deal like that. He's not signed to a equipment manufacturer like that. His locker mate, Sal Frelick, he said, hey, you want these? Boom. Like that's the connection that this team has. And this happens all the time. Guys share gear, share batting gloves, whatever it may be with other guys too. But it's just like you get to see, I'm sure there's a conversation of Sal and Mona right now. It's like, see, it's the gloves. It's the gloves. And it's just like little things like that, I think it's our job, Craig, to convey the stories that like these guys like each other, man. And it's just like the clubhouse loves it. I bet they were more excited about Mona hitting this 3-run homer than Yelly having 4 hits last night. I guarantee it.
Absolutely. There's no question about that. And the fact that we hear that same line, that same story over and over again, how much these guys get along and care for each other. And to me, I think you have to get along with somebody before you care about them and before you love them as a teammate. It doesn't instantly work. And I think to a man, for this current 26-man roster, for the guys that have come in and out, that are going to be coming back too, it is pretty tremendous. Pat Murphy kind of pointed this out, and I never thought about this through all the recent injuries the team has had right now. This active roster of 26 guys, Murph said something like there's 8 or 9, maybe 10 guys that are on this current roster right now that were on the opening day roster. I mean, think about that, and think about the struggle they had out of the gates, and then the slow buildup to what they've been able to build as this big steam engine train here right now. It says a lot about, leadership and how much these guys really do care for one another.
It's been really fun to watch. Let's take a breather. Let's kind of re-rack on how this game went as well. Monasterio got his flowers. Let's talk about how we got there next on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
When's the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or your back just aching? Or you walked down a flight of stairs without groaning, step by step, right? When's the last time you felt good? The pain never disappears, nothing changes, and you just kind of tough it out. WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. Well, the time is now to set up your free consultation with the pros at QC Kinetics. Their regenerative treatments help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies that can help you. There's no knives, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. You can set up a consultation for free, and you can bring your x-rays and your old MRIs for a no-pressure chat and a thorough evaluation. Call QC Kinetics. Worst case, you learn something new. Best case, you get your life back. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Keep the comfort in and the weather out with beautiful new windows and doors from Siding Unlimited. For ideas, go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
Cotroneo with a 2-run blast.
That's the sound of August Brewers baseball in Milwaukee. Make the most of every remaining summer game day and get your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers win again. Nothing breaking news here. I'm Dom Cotroneo with Craig Kashan joining us on the show. A couple of texts that have rolled in. Alex from Oshkosh, 14-0 for Pat's Pocket Pancakes and the month of August. You can't make this stuff up. The hottest team in baseball. What a moment for Monasterio. Oh my Atlanta, this game had it all. Go for the sweep with some broom emojis in there as well. I know it worked out, but inside a wild pitch, why not walk Ellie? Avoids the pop and avoids him being the placed runner. Curious strategically, that's viable move. I was going thinking Mike in western Wisconsin. So, Mike, on that decision there to either face Ellie or walk him, which came in the 10th inning, the point sort of is Andujar behind him is white hot. And furthermore, he's either going to beat you or he isn't. You know, do you want to face Andujar with the bases loaded where a wild pitch could end the game? Or do you want to face Ellie De La Cruz, who has swing and miss tendencies, went with the swing and miss, and they got him? I'm all for facing Ellie De La Cruz in that situation. So, Craig, how the heck did we even get to a 9th, 10th, and 11th inning stressful situation? Because entering extra innings, the Brewers were 0-for with runners in scoring position. Their runs that they had scored were gifts. You know, the misplay in right by Marte, and then the misthrow by Ellie De La Cruz, where there are only 2 runs in the first 9 innings. I mean, deserve is a strong word, but the Brewers did not really deserve to win this game what they did offensively.
Well, probably not. I mean, it's so hard in baseball to say that you don't deserve something where, you know, it's the only sport where you have to get that 27th out. I mean, I look at this too, you know, Dom, they had runners and runner at second base at least with less than 2 out in the 6th, 7th, and 8th inning and came up empty. So maybe the way you look at it is they were pushing, but they couldn't come up either with the right hit or the ball in play like they did in the 9th and 10th innings. So I I don't know. It's a tough one. I think sometimes, you get some luck on your side, and that's how you get a hitting streak going. That's how you get a winning streak going. And then there are some games, obviously, this great game of baseball that you gift away on your own. So it would have been tough, I think, to lose this one, say 2-1. I really do, because as hard as this team has worked, then you say, well, look what the pitching did tonight. I almost would rather see, whenever this winning streak comes to an end, that it's a pretty well-decided ball game on the other side.
Is it going to end, though? Are we sure it's going to end?
I don't know. I mean, here I said this on the air. I said we're now 10 games away from more burgers. We've got 2 games into the new 12-game winning streak, right? I mean, that's how you got to look at it. We're a hungry bunch up here in Wisconsin. We'll take it.
I look at it for the Brewers tonight, and yeah, I just said they didn't maybe quote-unquote deserve to win this game, but it's not for a lack of opportunity, right? The Brewers, they had the little 2-out rally in the second inning. They got a 1-out walk in the fourth, couldn't do anything with that. They had a 1-out single in the sixth, couldn't do anything with that, even with a stolen base from William Contreras. But I think the big ones that were just like, we haven't seen them do a game like this where they're waiting on the big hit. We haven't seen many games like this, which is funny to say, given, what is it now, 7 come from behind wins or 8 come from behind wins in this 14-game winning streak? Because
it's 8.
It's no big. It's 8. Yeah, it's no big deal that they're falling behind and getting the win. But quite frankly, I mean, a leadoff double generally leads to a run in the 7th. Back-to-back walks to lead off the 8th and 9th inning, and you only got 1 unearned run out of that is a little shocking. But hey, if that's the floor, sign me up.
Well, the other thing too is, I mean, they don't have a few of their frontline guys in that lineup here right now too. So, if ever a time where you say, well, if they can eke 1 or 2 out here, this is the time to do it. And if nothing else, Dom, I kind of look at this too. Again, whoever is getting the call up to be at the major league level here right now gets where this franchise is right now and has taken the same approach. There hasn't been, look, there have been guys that have very little major league experience and very little major league success as well. And somehow these guys are continuing to contribute. But guess what? They're at the point right now where they have to play. They have to play some of these guys. And, you're going to get your mainstays like Christian Yelich doing what he did last night, but you're asking a lot for him to do that 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean, that's baseball in a nutshell. He goes 0 for 4 with an intentional walk today. Andrew Vaughn went 0 for 4 with a walk today, including a double play. Like, that's baseball. Like, you can be on top of the world one day and then go 0 for the next day. It's a long season. That's why we play 162 of them. We also got to give kudos. I know he gave up 2 solo homers in the 6th inning. And Quinn Priester didn't get out of that 6th inning. That was more a reflection of the scoreboard because, now the Brewers are trailing and he's giving up some base runners, so they really got to go get him out of there. But if the Brewers had given him a cushion, he probably gets the chance to complete that 6th inning. But, I mean, for 5 1/3, I loved what we saw from Quinn Priester today, immediately putting that Mets start behind him, especially with the breaking stuff that we saw today.
Yeah, breaking stuff was really sharp, no question about that. And just his demeanor and his attitude after that getting roughed up. I mean, he hasn't gotten roughed up hardly at all, but he's also a guy that has been out there every single start for the most part since they acquired him. And getting through that 4th inning, he had a lot of traffic there, Dom. And then in the 6th, all of a sudden things kind of came to a halt where he gave up those 2 solo home runs within 3 batters and just couldn't finish up that inning. But, Priester, to me, just showed a huge sign of why he belongs, that he's not going to suffer through, 2, 3, 4 game stretch where he's struggling. I mean, he got right back on that horse, man, and he directed traffic tonight. I thought he was really good.
I thought he was very good today, and to see the slider and the curveball, he hasn't been super comfortable throwing that curveball to righties, and he really found a good grip with that. The slider, so he had 5 strikeouts today, and 3 of them were on the slider, 2 of them were on the curveball, and he even had some swings and misses on the sinker, 13 total whiffs today. I think there's a lot of positives to pull from this from Quinn Priester. Most likely, his next start could be on the 5th day on Thursday against the Cubs, or it would be on Friday against the Giants, depending on how the Brewers decide to shake things out with the tough schedule next week in Chicago. Before we get to break, let's get back to the phone lines, 855-616-1620. Calvin in Geneva. Calvin from south of the border, you're live here on Brewers Extra Innings.
Hey, guys, thanks for taking my call, and I think we speak for all Brewers fans when we say we appreciate all the work that you guys both do in the broadcast booth and with the stat keeping. Dom, I'm sure you've been exceptionally busy, not just during this streak, but for the season as a whole. So thank you guys for all that you do. You mentioned, Andrew being a glue guy earlier in the broadcast, and, I feel like you can give that identity to the team as a whole, that it's just a whole bunch of glue guys together, and as the saying goes, using the power of friendship to keep this train going along. But, I think about the glue god, who is Pat Murphy, I guess you could call it, and what should be, we're a little bit biased here, but what should be his second consecutive Manager of the Year winning season. I feel like there's just so many things that he does well, and, I think when you talk about when he addressed the team before the season even started about losses, when he talked about, losing some top guys like Devin Williams and Willie Adames, and visiting the Mets loss in the wild card, and then, of course, losing, the legendary Bob Uecker, to kind of set up the season, and then, making some tough managerial decisions as far as benching Caleb Durbin after a base running mistake, or Joey Ortiz for some lackluster at bats. He's doing everything so extraordinarily well this season, and even tonight during the broadcast when the team was down, and granted it was a 1-run deficit, but the camera cuts to him and he's almost like smiling and laughing, talking to fellow players or guys in the on deck circle. And even when Sal ran out that double play, it almost looked like he cracked a joke with him over at first after he was checking up to make sure he's okay.
Of course he did.
It's incredible. You run out of words to describe this team. There's not a lot else to say about Pat Murphy as a manager, but also as a person. And again,
he's been great, man. I agree, Calvin. He's due for his second consecutive Manager of the Year award, man. And I think you're absolutely right on. He is the right leader of these young men, and I think that the experience of Yelly, the experience of the vets like Quintana and Peralta and Hoskins, it's a good blend of old and young, and you've got a guy like Murph leading the way, no ego. Check your ego at the door, as we've heard about that story so many times. And, yeah, the power of friendship, it rolls on, and it's been really fun to watch 14 wins in a row. Sorry to cut you off, but we're up against the break. I also got to thank our friends at Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electric. Keep your home running right with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electric. When you book a service call this month, you'll be entered to win $250 home improvement gift card through their Fix It and Win It event. You can head to cider.com to book today. Appreciate the call, Calvin. You can get in line as well, 855-616-1620. Talk a little bit about this 14-game streak with Craig after this on 620 WTMJ.
My gut tells me that this summer heat's going to last, and that means your AC is going to be put through the paces. Now, we all know that AC can take a licking and keep on ticking, especially if it's an Armstrong. But when yours needs to be put out to pasture, call Quality. With over 70 vehicles on the road, we'll be there in a hurry. And with over 60 years of experience, how can you go wrong?
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. I don't have to tell you that a lot of dust and other junk collects in your ductwork. And it doesn't just sit there. It's blowing around in your home. And that jeopardizes your home health. The commercial industrial duct cleaning system we use at Quality darn near sucked the shirt right off our tech the first time he used it. Believe me, not everybody has this powerful of a system. It's unlike any other. At Quality, you get the best duct cleaning, period. So call Quality first for your duct cleaning needs.
For the signature service you deserve.
John Mercure here for Serta Pro Painters. They painted the outside of our house. It was fantastic. I've got a big deck. They really had to navigate on 2 levels. The guys took their time. They paid attention to detail. They did it right around the deck. My whole house looks fantastic. Trim and siding. It's great. It's Serta Pro Painters. Schedule fills up fast, so now's the time to plan your project. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Serta with a C for your home or business. Each Serta Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated. They are the best. They're Serta Pro Painters.
Looking for an e-bike? Shop Wheel and Sprocket and find rows and rows of bikes in a bunch of different styles and colors for you to see, touch, feel, and even test ride.
Visit WheelAndSprocket.com for a location near you.
Life is short. Enjoy your ride.
Drafty windows means wasted money. Call Siding Unlimited today for energy-efficient replacement windows and doors and start saving now. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to SidingUnlimited.com.
Welcome back to Brewers Extra Innings.
There's no player of the game poll today because it's Mona. Like, no questions. It's Andre Monasterio. So he's the game MVP, and it's brought to you by International Autos Group. You can drive it a summer in style and save up to $10,000 on in-stock BMWs, Audis, Mercedes-Benz, and more. No tariffs, just huge savings. Visit IAMilwaukee.com. International Autos Group, where ordinary needs to be extraordinary. You know, we talk about this as a cliche, Craig Kishon, that, you know, oh, it's somebody different every night. So I took a moment here to look at these 14 wins, and there's a lot of variety here, right? If we can go back and forth here real quick, right? Game 1, August 1st, the 16-9 drubbing of the Nats. You can go a couple of ways. William had 5 hits in that game. Blake Perkins had 2 homers in that game, right? So a little right off the bat, a little something different, right? And then Game 2, Brendan Woodruff 6 strong. Game 3, Bryce Terang had a 2-homer night. So just in that National Series, you have so much variety to pick from in those, and it set the stage for what the rest of this streak would look like.
Well, you know, it is great that these guys are all having something to do with this. You know, Terang is getting hot here at the right time through this streak as well. The fact that Woody's been back and they haven't lost since he's been back, you know, on the mound is just crazy. Yeah, I mean, you can, I don't know, are you going to go up and down all these games? Is that what we're doing right now?
We can. I mean, we can go, you know, the day that Isaac Collins got named Rookie of the Month, he also had the big home run against the Braves. You had Andrew Vaughn had a clutch RBI against the Braves in game number 5. The bullpen was fantastic in game number 6 in the 1-1 win over the Braves. Then you come to the Mets, the Blake Perkins throw, Bryce Terang having the great game on Saturday. And then the walk-off for Collins, you can call out D.L. Hall. You can call out William for having 2 homers, right? Like, and then you got Quintana having the strong start against the Pirates. Yelich homer in the 14-0 game. Sal scoring 4 runs against the Pirates. The bullpen yesterday, and, of course, Yelich, and then today, Monasterio. Like, I'm barely repeating names here.
Yeah, that's the great part. And every one of these guys, and it just hasn't been like a one moment thing. I think the really kind of cool stat to me of this winning streak is Monasterio finally got his name up on that banner, if you will, for top highlights, considering what he's actually kind of behind the scenes done with those great numbers, 7 for 14 now, contributing during this win streak. I think those things are cool to see. It's cool to see Collins during this win streak seriously be mentioned for Rookie of the Year based on what he's done as a buildup. The fact that, you know, Woody during this run and during this streak has established himself as one of the best pitchers in the game currently right now. And yes, we could go on and on. The fact that William has been able to get back to his old self, and he seems to be someone that's not going to let it go either. He's in for the long haul here. So, and finally, to me, it's maybe equally stunning that they have done all of this without Jackson Chourio. He went out the day before the winning streak began. And to me, that's the amazing thing, because I've been around long enough to know what absolutely important cog to making your team as good as it is, and he has everything to do with it. Sometimes you last for a few games, maybe a week without them, but when you know he is going to be out maybe up to 6 weeks or a little bit longer, you start to feel the effect of his absence, and they have not one bit, which is a huge credit going back to our big team talk of how these guys are together.
You know, when I go back, I'm starting to go back and trying to find other lines of demarcation on this team of, like, moments that you can point out that maybe we haven't talked about a lot. I think the rain out in Chicago is a good one, where they lose the first game, they come back in the second game and had the tough strike zone of the ninth, and McGill still slammed the door. and the big sweep and Miz going great, or even like the fake fighting in the War of the Words from Wilson Contreras and William throwing his hands up saying, like, look, it's my brother. It's not my fault. Then the Brewers winning that series against the Cardinals. Those are a couple good ones there, too. And I'm just, again, always coming back to July 6th. I know we keep saying May 25th, and that's still a fine date of that first 8-game winning streak when the team got above 500 for good. But July 6th, first day back for Brandon Woodruff. They're 28-4. They're 28-4. Like that's not a coincidence.
Yeah, and it's just those numbers based on what we knew about this team coming out of spring training and the rough start. To me, it still doesn't compute in my head that we can say that during a stretch like we're talking about, they're 28-4. And it just is, it's just incredible that they're 34 games over 500 and have by far the best record in baseball here right now too. I feel like I'm running out of superlatives, but I'll tell you this much. I thought tonight just capping this winning streak by grabbing their own record. I know they've tied records and established some other ones in different ways, but this one is going to really stand out and going to be something that this team itself earned and will have ownership of. That right now that's 14 wins and going here for this team. And the fact that these guys can wear it at maybe 10 or 15 years down the road, and some of them are done playing when they come back and they mingle with the fans like all the alumni did at that home run derby, they're going to have this to talk about, and they're going to have their identity to this team forever this way. And I think that's really, really cool stuff.
I agree. I think all of this is just, Mona's now a folk hero. Everyone's going to remember that name forever. And then, you've got this game, you've got this winning streak, and I'll leave you with the stat, Craig, as we get you out of here on this. The Brewers, now during their 14-game winning streak, have scored 119 runs just in the month of August, right? A 14-game winning streak. The Chicago Cubs, and all we heard about their offense earlier in the year, have scored 98 runs in the second half. The Brewers have scored, again, 119 runs. 21 more runs than the Cubs in, half the games? I mean, this is kidding. Wild stretch right now.
It is wild. It's just wild to think that this team is capable of doing it. But we've seen the home runs. We've seen the hit barrage. We've seen it all for this offense and how they've been building it up. We've seen the stolen bases are back. The aggressiveness at the plate with advancing runners. They're scoring a lot of unearned runs here right now. Put the ball in play, make you get them out. Oh, they can't get you out. We're going to score runs. I mean, we saw that late tonight, which is nuts. So it is pretty amazing stuff, and let's just keep her rolling, man.
Let's make it 15 tomorrow. How about that?
Yeah. I'm in.
Awesome. Craig and Sean, we'll book it tomorrow, 12:40 first pitch. We'll be talking to you after the game as well. Thanks, Craig.
Sounds great, Dom. Thanks.
All right, back with more after this. The Brewers get the win. We'll hear from Pat Murphy in a bit as well on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Is your business ready to take the next step? At Fifth Third Commercial Bank Wisconsin, our team of local experienced advisors is here to propel you forward. We understand your needs and offer in-depth expertise, cutting-edge technology, and tailored solutions to streamline your cash collections, automate payments, and safeguard your assets with top-notch fraud mitigation tools. Contact Fifth Third in downtown Milwaukee today. Let's eliminate the non-value ad work so you can focus on what truly matters. Growing your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
There I was outside doing some yard work when I noticed my neighbor looking over his windows. He's climbing up and down his ladder, and I hear him holler to his wife, "Honey, we're gonna need a few new windows." So I took a walk over and said, "Hi Ron, do you mind if I take a look?" He said, "Go right ahead." And I said, the window itself, which is the framework to the glass here, looks fine. And the sill, which is the bottom of the framework, that's fine too. It's the glass that needs replacing. The seal must be broke, and that lets in the moisture we're seeing. That's why your windows are fogging up. And he said, "So I don't need new windows?" And I said, "No, actually, if you want, I can have the glass replaced, and they'll basically be as good as new. And believe me, it'll cost you a lot less than replacing these." This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
We get it. You're on the go, and life gets in the way. Stay up to date on all things WTMJ with podcasts of every show. Available on WTMJ.com. And don't forget you can stream WTMJ online and watch your favorite WTMJ shows on YouTube. Every show, when you want it, no matter where you are. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ. This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers win again. 14 of them. So let's buy or sell. It's brought to you by Tony Wendorf and Associates. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, trust Tony Wendorf and Associates, one of the top real estate teams in Wisconsin and part of First Weber Real Estate Services. They bring faith, family, and red carpet experience to every home deal. Let's step up to the plate together. WendorfTeam.firstweber.com. So we're buying, obviously, a 14-game winning streak, and this is a great text that I want to point out of how deep this team is. This is from Mike up in Port Washington. Amazing how you can win when starters Sal Frelick, Joey Ortiz, Christian Yelich, and Andrew Vaughn, your 1 through 4, go a combined 0 for 22. Yes, there were some walks in there, but yeah, that's how deep this team is. So that's your 1, your 2, your 4, and your 5. Contreras, he was just 2 for 4 with a walk and a couple of singles, and of course the RBI single in the 10th, even a stolen base for him. But I think the key on all that is, yes, it's 0 for 22, and yes, that can be frustrating to some. But when you dive a little bit deeper into this box score, the Brewers only struck out 7 times tonight. In an extra inning game, mind you. 11 innings. 7 strikeouts and 7 walks. The Brewers pitching staff, they struck out 13 and only allowed 3 walks. That was a stat that you're going to get to talk to yesterday. In the midst of that comeback, in the 23 in a row retired, obviously no walks from the Brewers bullpen yesterday. Yes, Koenig had a walk today, and McGill had a walk today too. Neither one of them came back to bite them. But for the Brewers, it's that difference is so huge. Another 3 unearned runs today as well. The Brewers have the most unearned runs in baseball, and it's not close. Including tonight, the Brewers now have 89 unearned runs scored. I haven't checked the Marlins box score, but assuming they didn't get an unearned run tonight, that is up by 32 runs. That is not a small gap at all. So I'm selling it when people are saying, oh, they're luck merchants. Oh, they're not deserving these wins. They're not getting the job done. Luck is created. Luck is putting the ball in play. Luck is forcing a team like the Cincinnati Reds, who is voluntarily playing 2 infielders in their corner outfield spots, in Gavin Lux and Noelvi Marte. They are infielders learning the outfield this season. And I know we talk about Isaac Collins learning left field a lot. Reminder, that dude had not played much outfield really at all in his minor league career. He was mostly a second baseman, a little bit of outfield, but the Brewers were really working on him to be a left fielder. Could you imagine that sentence? And then they trusted Tyler Black to play left field. They trusted Andre Monasterio to play left field because they've gone through to the development to do that. So you create your own luck, you trust your defense, you invest in your defense, and furthermore, you invest in guys that have good plate discipline and put bat to ball. And I'm selling the whole thought of, you know, I've heard national writers say, oh, the Brewers don't hit the home run enough, or they don't slug enough, right? They have more homers than the Padres, right? The Dodgers, sure, they have experienced players. A lot of those guys are having down years, and I know they're just getting ready for October. The Brewers are in the top 12 in Major League Baseball since May 25th in home runs hit, but they're second in total slugging percentage. And everyone's like, oh, well, they're not going to be able to hit home runs. You know, you got to pick one, right? You don't hit many home runs in October. But when you do hit home runs, you obviously help you win games. Everybody loves homers. But you can't have it both ways, saying, oh, you need to be creative in how you score runs, but if you don't hit homers, nobody cares about you. I disagree. I think this offense is dynamic. They've got guys like Yelly, like Contreras, like Vaughn that can go a yard at any given moment. Even Terang's shown off his power lately. Churio can go a yard at any moment. So I'm buying what I'm seeing right now for the Crew. Why not make it 15 in a row? What a story it could be. We will hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, on the other side of this break, right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
At Cousin Subs, the bigger your smile, the better we feel. That's why our menu features something for everyone, like our Wisconsin cheese curds, golden fries, creamy shakes, and mac and cheese, all paired with your favorite sub, or our subs in a bowl. And don't forget our kids' meals, now with a free cookie. Here's to a better day. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scavini for QC Kinetics. You ever wake up with that pain in your back or your elbow? In my case, it's my elbow, or your knee or your other joints. Well, how about doing something about it? I went to QC Kinetics. I talked to Dr. Ashley Caravelli and their team and scheduled my treatments, 5 treatments throughout the summer, to make me feel better, to use my own body to help restore and repair this damaged joint, in my case, the elbow, using natural therapies, no surgery, none of the pills, no masking of the injuries that are bothering you. You can even bring your own x-rays and MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free, no-pressure chat, and you can find out if you're a good candidate. Worst case, you learn something new about yourself. Do what I did. Go to QC Kinetics. You will find out what is ailing you. You'll help your body heal itself. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Don't wait. Call now. QC Kinetics.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers Extra Innings brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. It's a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers and paired perfectly with the day at the ballpark and stocked at American Family Field all season long. The Surfside play of the game.
2-2 pitch. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Diving stop by Ortiz to his feet. Spins and throws to first in time. The highlight reel continues to grow for Joey Ortiz. Do not take him for granted, Brewers fans. Nobody's playing that position like Joey is right now.
That's just the non-Monasterio division of play of the game. So Mona, of course, with the big 3-run homer, but Joey, man, his defense continues to shine of what we've seen from him lately. A few more texts here before we hear from Murph. Inquisitive Minds wants to know if the Brewers win 12 in a row in July and again in August. Is George Webb going to be giving away burgers twice in 1 year? Well, you're saying more, maybe they go 24-0, right? That'd be funny. That would be funny. We might be responsible for putting George Webb out of business if that happens. But Reggie from Milwaukee, this could have been a 10-plus run win by the Brewers. They missed some opportunities, yet they still found a way to win. That's resilience at its finest. This one, Terry eating crow about the guy worried about the Brewers before the All-Star break. Now he understands, and he is enjoying it. Appreciate you owning up to that one, Terry. Sam in New Berlin, they did it again. Unbelievable. I honestly can't name the last time an opponent we lost to. This team won't die, Murph said in his spring training speech. The team is on the mission to play baseball, and man, have they. Little concerned with the state of the bullpen. 19 games in 18 days. I hear you there. With DL Hull going on the injured list today with an oblique strain, calling up Grant Anderson, and a reminder, you do get to have an extra player for the doubleheader. That will be key on Monday. Aaron in Illinois, would you rather have the winning streak end against the Reds or against the hated Cubs? How about never? I'm not going to choose one. Are you kidding me? That's like choosing a child. Absolutely not. I'm not. Why have it end? I'm not going to choose when I want it to end. Let's break the Cubs record, by the way. They have the National League record of 21 wins in a row. How about that? All right, let's hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, after the win.
To have his moment tonight
Yeah,
on
special.
the first pitch, no less.
Yeah, you pull for guys like Mona who do whatever you ask. He's played every first, second, short, third, left field. He'd do anything we ask. And he was with us all last year and deserved to be and did a lot of great things. And he didn't start the season here, but then got a chance to come up, and he's been great ever since, filling in anywhere. And, seeing him get this big hit tonight it's huge. Really, really happy for him.
If you look up and down the roster in this 14-game stretch, that's kind of how it's been, right? Like every single guy has won a game or seriously contributed.
You think about the contributors in today's game. It wasn't the normal Vaughn, Yelich, Frelick deal. You know what I mean? And Churio's not here. Collins and Perkins aren't here. So think about it. That's the top 6 position players. And it was Mona, it was Ortiz's defense, it was Terang, it was, the pitching, it was Durbin, it's William coming through the big hit, Ashby and Uribe and Koenig throwing unbelievable. Priester had a great start, man. He hit a wall, but he still pitched good enough in the 6th to win. He was dominant early. This is a good team over there. They're in contention. And to come to their field, it's pretty, pretty special, and we got another one tomorrow morning, so can't think about it too much, but boy,
Murph, and then stuff happens, like the ball gets over the right fielder's head, De La Cruz skips a ball pass first, the left fielder falls down. Is that just putting on pressure? Is that kind of how you chalk up?
No, that happens to us too. It happens to every team. There's things that happen in games. And you think back to remember the San Diego game last year when, they must have got 5 or 6 scratch hits that just didn't happen. Well, look at yesterday when DL Hall was giving up bleeder after bleeder after bleeder. It's baseball, and you got to be able to roll with it and respond and roll and respond. And our guys keep responding, and we're very fortunate to come away with a victory tonight. We had every reason to the game to be over, but they have to respond to it now. That's every team's plight is how do you respond to the misfortune? How do you respond to things not bouncing your way? We've been very fortunate. We've had things happen for us. Now, we've been plagued by injuries all year, and you could say early on, no one was hit by injuries. There's only 9 players. Is there 9 players or 8? I think there's 8 players on our team right now that were on the opening day roster, something like that. Maybe less. I don't know. So it's like we went through a lot of stuff early and responded. And, that's every team's job, to respond to adversity, because 162, 6 months, you're going to have swoons, you're going to have bad times. And, it's the nature. Everybody can beat everybody. Look at the scoreboard every night.
How was your heart in the 9th inning on some of those?
My heart?
In the last one.
I got a scan coming up, so I don't really know how my heart is, but I wasn't worried about my heart in the 9th inning. I was worried about the players.
What about, the ability for you guys to put the ball in play and force things to happen, and forcing another 3 errors tonight and capitalizing on those? How much has that also just been part of what you guys have been able to do?
Well, it's part of our identity, to put it in play, attempt a bunt, fake a bunt. Now, again, a bunt played a huge role tonight, right, with Terang getting that bunt down. So those are things that were a threat to do that, and then we stole a couple bases, I think. I don't remember, but I think we did. And, those are all little parts of the game, but you got to play solid defense no matter what other teams are doing, and you got to run the bases.
You nearly had another bunt hit, too.
Right. That was unbelievable, man. Hayes was great tonight, man. What a great pickup for the Reds. Just a great-natured kid. He's one of the best defenders. He's been overshadowed because of Arenado, but you want to talk about an incredible defender, and he's showing you what he can do offensively. And I think Tito will get a ton out of him, and I think he's an incredible pickup for the Reds. It hurts my heart that they did that, you know what I mean? Because you're not talking about my heart. That's when I heard they signed Hayes. I love the player, you know.
Murph, I don't know if you're able to step back and view a little bigger picture here, but to win 14 games in a row, something that has never happened in a season in this franchise's history.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be part of it. You know, I'm a small part of it, but I'm grateful. And that's the group we got. You know, a bunch of hungry guys. You know, and that's all I can keep saying because, you know, it's what it is. And guys that come and want to win and want to play. And there are a lot of cliffhangers. You know, a lot of guys that are hanging on to the big leagues. You know, you come to this game today and you watch, you know, Ortiz get pinch hit for, and he'll be back tomorrow making unbelievable plays. It's undaunted. You know what I mean? They just keep coming. You know, and the guys we're doing it with, a lot of people have never heard of. Quinn Priester, you know, they never heard of Monasterio, I'll guarantee you. You know, Ashby had another huge impact on the game. Uribe again. Koenig, unsung. And McGill. It's the first time McGill's given up anything, you know. And wouldn't have without the runner at second, right? So, yeah.
Years that was his first save.
First career save?
First career save.
Special.
Also, first pitch hit home run of the season.
First what?
First pitch hit home run of the season.
Golly gee.
First pinch hit homer of the season. Last pinch hit homer for the Brewers in the regular season was Gary Sanchez against the Pirates last year off of Aroldis Chapman. And, of course, in the playoffs, Jake Bauers. We don't know how that game ended. I just blacked out. It's not Game 3 of the wild card last year. A couple last-second questions here before we wrap up the program. Question, if things hold and the Brewers get a bye, does that mean they play first in the NLDS? Yeah, they would be the 1 seed, and they have the best record in baseball by, I believe it's 5 games right now, 6 games right now. The Blue Jays won again today. The Brewers would get home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs if they make it to the World Series. If, of course, they have the number 1 seed in the National League, they would skip the wild card round. They would host the NLDS. Game 1 and Game 2 would be here in Milwaukee. They would be guaranteed to face the 4-5 matchup in the wild card. So the team with the number 1 seed in baseball, they do not reseed based on the rounds. So by rule, the divisional matchup, the number 1 seed cannot face a division winner. So it will be either the Cubs, the Mets, maybe the Reds, if they catch up, whoever's in second in the West, the Dodgers or the Padres, whoever advances out of that 4-5 matchup in the wild card round would be coming here to Milwaukee for the best of 5 DS. So keep that in mind for the rest of it. They did it again. Unbelievable. From Dennis, Moneyball 2. I'm working on the screenplay. Let's hope it doesn't end like Moneyball did, right? Real ones, no. But they got the pitching, and they've got some players on this club. We're on the air at 12:05 tomorrow with the On Deck Show. It'll be Lane and Josh on the call once again for a 12:40 first pitch, and we'll react to it all after the game tomorrow here on WTMJ. Our producer, Evan Wittallison. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Keep on swinging.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating,